Joining me now is Jim Trusty, former assistant U.S. attorney for the District of Maryland and previously represented Donald Trump in both the January 6th and classified documents case. Jim, good to see you again. What do you make of this decision by Alvin Bragg?
I think Bragg's lining up to punt on second down. I mean, you're exactly right. This is crazy territory. And I think there's a backstory that's worth mentioning here. You know, this is, by all accounts, an inventive prosecution. That's probably the cleanest word I can use for it on TV. And one that I know you've called out as being kind of selective and strange and misguided. But it's also a case that even if you accept that these inventive felonies are somehow crimes, that your own internal bookkeeping about a perfectly legal NDA is a crime, it shouldn't lead to jail for anybody.
Right.
And so the backstory in my mind is Bragg's office, for all of these like ridiculous statements about how they just care about accountability and fairness, if they were not seeking jail, they could say, let's just go to sentencing. We're not even asking for prison, judge. Let's get this over with. So clearly, I think behind the scenes, I don't know this from any inside knowledge, but strikes me the right inference here is Bragg's office wants to seek jail on this ridiculous case. And now they want to basically just punt it for 4 years and hope that the dust settles in a way where they can come back and do it. I mean, it's ludicrous to me.
Let's say it wasn't jail time. Let's say it was community service. I mean, you know, I can't see the president-elect, you know, on the side of the road cleaning up trash either.
Well, he has a trash truck and he's got a vest, so I don't know about that, Dan. I mean, you know, that worked out pretty well being called
That's
garbage.
true.
But, no, but I mean, look, but there's ways to modify. Like, look, this is a symbolic conviction at best. It's a ridiculous case. So you could basically say it's unsupervised conditions of probation or release.
Right.
Or that, you know, you just want it done at some point and they make it a 5 years, like try to extend it somehow as you get into it. So there's probably ways to accommodate some tiny pound of flesh, whether it's community service or a fine. But, you know, the other practical effect here is it's essentially immunizing the case from a successful appeal from the defense. So if I'm the defense, I'm like, look, I want these issues to wind their ways through the New York appellate courts because this case has just error after error from my perspective in terms of how it was tried. And so, you know, not being able to litigate the appellate side is a big problem from the defense perspective.
But you'd agree with me, right, that there's no argument that somehow the Supreme Court's presidential immunity doctrine is going to apply to this case?
Well, here's my little caveat. I'm not saying you're definitely wrong on that. But, you know, the immunity case doesn't give a lot of guidance on exactly how you define these parameters and how you litigate what's covered or not covered. I think about Hope Hicks. She was a very important witness. If Hope Hicks was talking about stuff from, you know, reactions and her experience from when she was in the White House, it gets a little dicier. And remember, it's not just about whether it's error or in the abstract. If there's a violation, if there's something that was immunized, it contaminates the indictment process. So you have to start all over with a new grand jury. So that was the language of the Supreme Court. I think that's about the only area that I'd want to like plow through the transcript and see if there's any hope. But I think there's a million other things that are more fundamentally
putting aside
wrong
the other
with the case
issues,
than the immunity issue.
Right, putting aside the other issues, you know, you think it's a long shot argument. I think it's a non-shot argument. But I hear you, Jim Trusty. Good to see you again. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.